Hi, my name is Jon Hanna. I'm with Poles Attorneys, and today we're going to be talking about buying property in Panama. First of all, I'd like to give you a brief overview of what our firm does. We specialize in real estate. We've been doing it for 20 years, and real estate is a huge part of our business. So we have many clients who have purchased properties and sold properties throughout Panama, all over the country, from the border of Costa Rica to the border of Colombia. So today what I want to do is give you a brief overview of kind of how to buy property and not get into trouble. So the first step when you're buying property in Panama is you've got to do due diligence, okay? Every property has to do due diligence. There are several different types of properties in Panama. There are titled properties and there are untitled properties, okay? Untitled properties would be what are called rights of possession. So rights of possession you want to stay away from as much as possible, but if you really want to buy a right of possession, we can help you. It just requires more due diligence. So we're going to talk about titled properties today, and we're going to talk about the procedure to buy a titled property, which is the most common scenario. So when you buy a titled property, the first thing you want to do is you want to verify that the title is clean. Okay, the way you verify that is you hire an attorney to do the due diligence and do the investigation at the public registry. Okay, so what we do is we go to the public registry and we pull up the title number and we verify that there's no liens or encumbrances that would prohibit that title from being transferred. Okay, the second step is that you generally want to verify things like, for example, if you're buying a farm, we need to do a survey. We need to hire a surveyor to verify the limits and verify the boundaries of the property, verify the access, and verify that the actual area of the property corresponds with the area that is registered in the public registry, so the area that they're selling you. Normally, properties are sold by the square meter, so if you're buying by the square meter, you definitely want to measure the square meters that you're buying and verify that you're in fact getting what you paid for. Okay. The same applies with buying a condo or buying a home. You know, whenever you're promised that you're being offered X number of square meters of construction, you want to verify that those X number of square meters exists in the actual property that you're buying. So we've had various cases where people have actually purchased from developers, believe it or not, and were promised that their area of construction was one thing and it turns out that it wasn't. So those are all points of negotiation when we're able to find scenarios where the square meters don't correspond to what's being promised. Okay. The next thing is we need to negotiate the terms, and then we move on to what's called a promise to purchase contract. A promise to purchase contract is a binding agreement, and generally we like to inscribe that promise to purchase contract in the public registry so that it places a lien on the property, so that during the time that we're preparing all the documents to be able to close, that the seller cannot transfer the property to a third party. So generally when you sign the promise to purchase contract, you give a down payment. That down payment can be anywhere from 10% to 20% or more, depending on what the terms of the negotiations are. But generally a down payment is made and then we sign the promise to purchase contract. That promise to purchase contract is signed at the notary office, at the public notary. Here in Panama we have what are called public notaries. They are appointed by the president, so these are individuals that are officially appointed as notaries. In Panama, not just any person can be a notary. A notary is a person that's appointed by the government. So you sign at the notary, it's signed on notary paper, it's on a public deed, and we register the promise to purchase contract at the public registry. That secures your option to purchase, and then as normally there's a term of like 30 to 60 to 90 days depending on the conditions of the deal, in which the seller is required to gather all the documents that are required, all the certifications of payment of taxes, of payment of their water bills and whatnot, all the certifications that are needed to be able to go to closing. Okay, once we have all the documents gathered, then we schedule the closing and we move to a final purchase contract. Okay, in the final purchase contract, that's when the title actually changes hands and the title is transferred at the public registry. And that's when the final payment is made. Okay, and so that's about it. In a nutshell, that's how you buy a property in Panama. Feel free to contact us for more details. Make sure to speak with one of our attorneys before you enter into a property transaction, and we'd be happy to help you to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Thank you very much.